Hello, welcome to Flower Juice. My name's John McDonald, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We decided we might have a little look and see what is our most popular videos. So basically, we've been going for 8 years now. We've got over 480 videos and 167,000 subscribers. But in that time, what's been the top 5 of the videos that we've done? So we're going to have a little run through. I mean, a channel basically covers a range of different things. So we do floristry, we do floral art, we look at different techniques. We've done visits to shows, we've tested products. We've got a real mix of videos. There's something for everyone. And that was really the idea of the channel. So it's interesting just to have a little look and see what ones have actually been the most popular. So let's start with number 5. And number 5 is how to make a mixed floral headdress. Now, this was one of the first videos that we did, so it was 6 years ago. It also was when we kind of upped our game a little bit and invested in a microphone, which made a big difference. This video got 430,000 views. And it's interesting that it's in the top 5 because it's a floral headdress. I mean, you kind of think, well, how often do people make floral headdresses? But it is an interesting one to actually watch and see how it's done. Now, this was videoed when we first started and when I was still working at the hotel in our workroom. So it shows the original setting, all the rubbish is behind, all the containers, and people used to love that there was things in the background and the background would always change. So that was quite interesting as well. Now, when we did this video, we decided to add a little twist at the end, and it's interesting, if you've not watched the video, you've possibly missed that little twist. We did try and bring in a sense of humour when we were making videos, and we just wanted to pop in a little one with this one. So that was a little bonus extra with the how to make a floral headdress. Now, with like all our videos, what we basically do is we try and show how best to approach making this item. So with a floral headdress, you're looking at having to wire all your flowers, all your greenery, and then put it together in a set way. So we basically take you through the process and show you the logical order to achieve the finished result. So that was number 5. I wouldn't have thought that would be in the top 5 at all, but there it is. And that leads on to number 4, which is actually this video, how to make a wrist corsage. So again, we're continuing with that kind of wedding theme. This video was made 5 years ago. It got 606,000 views, so that's a big increase from the floral headdress. And this video, again, we take you through the process. We talk about what you need to do to achieve the finished product, the finished result. And with this one, actually, I think people were interested because a corsage is an item that you can make, and it can be made in different ways. But when you add that on to being a wrist corsage, then it's a little bit more tricky. So we used a beaded bracelet for mounting the corsage onto, and the beaded bracelet has its own challenges. It's a little bit tricky to fix. So the tip in this video was to use the rose wires that have been taped and use them as the fix for the actual corsage to the bracelet. So an interesting video. Again, personally, I'm surprised that we've got like a headdress and a wrist video or a wrist corsage video in our top 5, but weddings are very popular, and it's interesting that people want to see how these things are done. So then we go on to number 3. So what do you think is in at number 3? Well, it's this video, which is how to make a pedestal arrangement. Now, this was made 5 years ago. It got 845,000 views, and it's basically a big traditional flower arrangement. So this is the type of arrangement that you would use for event work, for wedding work, in churches. A lot of our viewers basically regularly make floral designs in churches, and I think they really were happy to see us do like a big design. Now, originally when we started the channel, we slightly shied away from making things that were too big, basically because we didn't have the setting that would show it off well. So because there's a lot of things in the background, you tend not to be able to see things that are quite large. So generally, a lot of our videos tend to be items that fit well on a tabletop, which is pretty much what a lot of floristry is anyway. So to go and do something bigger was a bit of a jump. So this was one of our first videos that we did doing something bigger. So this design was traditional, it was floral, we shot with a side angle as well, and it just showed to us that people actually like things that are quite floral. So that was an interesting video for us to do. Again, we take you through the process. We're using a range of different materials, and that was actually some of the comments that came up on this video was there's such a lot in it, there's such a lot of materials. But my kind of style is very kind of garden orientated and kind of relaxed, formal. So traditional, formal, but in a relaxed way. So you can incorporate different materials and you can incorporate stuff from the garden as well. So I think if you're going to make a pedestal arrangement, then that's actually a really good tip, is try and source some different materials, some bulky materials to give you volume. That'll also save on cost. And foliage, like commercial foliage, has got a little bit more expensive, so it's quite good to actually bulk these things out and give them a bit more volume and a bit more impact visually as well. So that was number 3. Let's have a look at what made number 2. Well, in at number 2 is the one video that I personally have been so surprised at. I mean, in some ways I can understand how a wrist corsage or a headdress are there because they're interesting and there's something different. And as I say, with a lot of wedding work, you kind of expect some wedding ones to be in there. But this one is how to make a dining table arrangement. Now, when we made this video, we basically made it as a kind of back to basics. This is how to make a basic design. This video was made 4 years ago, but it's gathered 1,062,000 views. And that's amazing because when we made it, we just thought, this is a basic video. It's going to be useful for people who are coming into floristry and wanting to learn, or maybe people who are looking to put together something simple for their table. But in a way, it struck us that it was nothing special because it is basic. Well, it really has been a popular video. A lot of people have watched it. A lot of people have commented in a positive way that it was a very useful video. And I think in a way doing some videos that are basic or beginner kind of designs, it kind of encourages people to take part and to have a go, and they're not going to be so scared to actually create something for their own table. So this definitely was the kind of curveball for us, seeing this one in the top 5, and for it to come in at number 2, you know, it just shows that sometimes you make a video and you think it's going to be really, really popular, and you know, it's one that you didn't expect that actually gets up there. But that was number 2. So let's just run over. We've got a headdress, we've got a wrist corsage, we've got a pedestal, and then we've got a table arrangement. So what's number 1? Well, in at number 1 is our how to make a large spring double-ended spray. Now this is a funeral item. It's a big design with a lot of flowers. It was made 6 years ago, and in that time it's had nearly 1.5 million views. This is a kind of item that is very popular as a main item for funerals. So you don't really expect a funeral item to be so popular. But I think the fact that it was big, it was very floral, it's traditional, made it a very popular video. Now, one of the comments that we get coming from people is, why would you show people how to make things? Well, we're not necessarily showing people how to make things with the idea that they're going to go and make them. It is entertainment to watch a video, and I enjoy watching other sorts of craft videos as well. So I think a lot of people just enjoyed watching how these things are made. But we did get some people who basically asked, you know, I want to make this, and then they maybe asked in the comments for a little bit more detail. And the really good thing with that is we're not encouraging people to do it, but we're not putting people off. I think if you're a crafty person and you're good with your hands, then give it a go. If you follow the video, as I say, what we do is we try and lay things out in a logical manner with the kind of recipe and the technique for how to achieve the end result. So if you do that, then you've got a good chance of doing well. But if you're not feeling confident, then we do advise, especially in comments, if people come across as being slightly cautious or very unsure, we would basically recommend that they don't attempt it, or if they do, that they definitely have a few practice runs. The chances of making a big item and making it very well on the first ever go, that's asking a lot. So we would say that these videos are really to inspire people, but with a bit of realistic expectations as well. The more practice you have with something, the better it's going to be. So there you go. That was our number one item, our most popular watched video from all our 480 videos, how to make a large spring double-ended spray. Now, we actually did say using feminine flowers, and that did raise a little bit of a debate about how can you have feminine flowers, how can you have masculine flowers? Well, it was just a turn of phrase, and it was really to say that these flowers were kind of soft summer flowers that would be ideal for maybe a lady who had passed, as opposed to other types of flowers that might be more suitable for a gentleman. And that could be equally applied to a colour choice as well. So using that phrase in the title at the time did raise a few comments, but it wasn't meant in any bad way. It was literally just an indication of the style of this arrangement. So again, this style of arrangement kind of picks up on the style that I used when we made the pedestal arrangement. It's a kind of loose garden style, but following that formal pattern on these traditional items. Now, as I say, we've got a lot of videos that we've done, and we've still got more to come. But what was your favourite out of our 480 videos? Let us know in the comments section below. We've always thought that the most popular videos have been the ones that have been big, have been floral, or have been really easy. But this top 5 has just shown that there's no telling what's going to be the most popular. Now, we've made some videos that have been very big and very floral, such as our floral arch videos, and they're not in the top 5. Now, maybe in 5 years' time, that might all change and they might have got up there. So it'll be interesting to maybe revisit this in a few years' time and see if these ones are still in the top 5 or if the top 5 has changed. Now, if you go to the video description, you'll find the links for all top 5 videos in there, and if you haven't seen them, then have a little look. It is interesting seeing the difference in style from some of these videos, because obviously they were videoed maybe 6 years ago, 5 years ago. Things have changed, and I think our angles on the camera, our microphone and our lighting have improved as well. So hope you've enjoyed today's top 5. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and we hope to see you for our next video and our next design.